Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be all about my TBR list and the books that I plan on reading this spring. We're just going to get straight into it because I have quite a few books on this list that I want to just dive into, get into the meat and potatoes.
Which is such a weird phrase, like what is that metaphor? Who came up with that?
I'm really excited to get into today's video, so if you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up if you like bookish content, and feel free to subscribe down below
If you like me, if you like TBR lists, and if you like springtime.
Without further ado, let's get into today's video. So half of the books that I have on this list I have because I do want to get through the books that are currently on my shelves that I haven't got to yet. And then the other half will be books that are either going to be releasing or I just have to go pick them up. So stay tuned for a book shopping video because I'm really excited about the books on this list, really excited to get them and to get into reading. One of the books that I have on this list is The Remnant Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson. She wrote the Dance of Thieves duology, and The Remnant Chronicles, I believe, is a prequel or it's a series that takes place before the events of the Dance of Thieves duology. I recently purchased this trilogy and I'm really excited to get into it, so I've been holding off because I want to do a dedicated reading vlog to this series and just kind of discuss Mary E. Pearson's writing as a whole, since I've already read Dance of Thieves and Vow of Thieves. We have a arranged marriage set for this princess and she just books it. She leaves on her wedding day, even though she has the duty that she owes to her father, to her country, all of that. And I just found that to be really exciting. Something going on in this book. We have an assassin and another prince that is involved in this trilogy. So I'm excited to get into it. I love Mary E. Pearson's writing. When I read Dance of Thieves, I did not believe how much I was going to love it. That was a 5-star series for me, so I'm excited to get into this one as well and just get into more like epic fantasies and just more world building, less fantasy romance. I don't really know actually if this will be that, but I have hopes. Next, we have The 10,000 Doors of January, and I know it doesn't sound like a springtime book, but one, the cover just makes me really intrigued to reading it, so I do want to read it in springtime. But two, the premise is so interesting and whimsical, and it sounds like a cozy fantasy magical realism book that I think would be perfect for springtime because it just reminds me of opportunities and new beginnings, and I think that's what this book is going to be talking about. So if you don't know what this book is, we have our main character, January, who is the ward of a very wealthy man named Mr. Locke. And she lives with him in like this really interesting mansion. But while she's living there, she discovers this book, and when she opens the book, it has tales of secret doors, of love, of mystery, of adventure. She finds that the story in the book is entwined with her own life, her own story. So I find that to be interesting. I feel like there's so much more to this book than what the synopsis gives us. So I'm excited to read that. I don't know if you're excited, but I'm excited. Next is A Botanist's Guide to Parties and Poison. And I saw this at a local bookstore the other day. I didn't pick it up, and I should have, so maybe I'll get it this weekend. But this sounded super cute. It kind of gave me the vibes of Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. One, because of the book cover, it just looks super, I don't know, it just looks very like cottagecore. Also like a cozy mystery. The storyline just sounds really interesting, and I think the cover is what made me think of like spring. So we have a research assistant named Saffron. She's currently at the University College of London. One night at a party within the university, one of the professor's wives just drops dead on the floor, and the main suspect is Saffron's professor, Dr. Maxwell. So she teams up with a colleague to kind of debunk this mystery and clear her professor's name. The reason why it reminded me of spring is because it goes all into botany. We talk about greenhouses, we talk about plants, we talk about poisons and all of the things that can come up in, botany and stuff. So I think that sounds fantastic. I love the greenery. I think there's going to be a lot of imagery here tying in with this mystery in this academic setting. So I don't know, is this going to be a dark academia? Is this going to be a cozy mystery? Is this going to be like a romance? I don't know, but I'm really excited to find out. A book I keep seeing everywhere on Book Talk is Indigo Ridge by Devney Perry. She has like a bunch of standalones in like this series called like the Eden series, and they center around a bunch of different people. So Indigo Ridge, I believe, is book 1. So we have this new girl in town. She's a chief of police, and she wants to prove to the community that she didn't get the job based off of like who her grandfather is. I guess he's like the mayor or something. He has a lot of power. Her job basically is to secure her position with this powerful family called the Edens. I believe they're like the founding family of the town, so they have a lot of power. They have a lot of recognition in the town, and if she can win them over, she can win the town over. But what happens is she accidentally has a one-night stand with one of the Eden brothers, and the story just goes from there. It sounds pretty cute. I like small town romances a lot, and I don't know if this is going to be like a Grumpy Sunshine or what, or Enemies to Lovers. It could be Enemies to Lovers actually, now that I'm thinking about it, but I'm excited. I found it on Kindle, so I'm going to probably check that out shortly. I think a small town romance is good for any season, but if you're interested in like a cute little romance that you're just wanting to zip through, I feel like a book series like this would be something that would be perfect for springtime. You could read it by the pool or on the beach. So yeah. A new release that is going to be coming out in April, The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. This is going to be book 2 in the Crowns of Nyaxia duology. I recently read The Serpent and the Wings of Night last month, so I'm really excited that I read it just in time for the release of book 2 that will be coming out in April. So I do plan on reading this as soon as it comes out, because I want to make sure that everything is, fresh in my mind for what happened in book 1. And this, if you don't know, is like this vampire fantasy romance. We have trials, we have vampires, we have court system, we have marriage of convenience, we have enemies to lovers, forced proximity. Like, I think this is going to be a great book 2, because book 1 ended in a pretty interesting like cliffhanger type of way where I wasn't expecting, but I really enjoyed. So I'm thinking book 2 will be even better than book 1, just my opinion. But yeah, if you're interested in vampires, fantasy romance, then definitely check this out. I think it will be on Kindle Unlimited, because book 1 is on Kindle, so keep your eyes peeled for book 2 soon. Another book that I have on my bookshelf that I want to get to is The Husband's Secret by Leanne Moriarty. She wrote 9 Perfect Strangers and Big Little Lies. I've seen both of those television adaptations, and I didn't read the books. I saw the shows, and I loved them. I just gobbled it up. Amazing, high quality, fantastic story. So I want to read The Husband's Secret because I really loved those 2 storylines from the other books, and I want to get into reading this one. It sounds fantastic. I'm just going to read you the back because it's super short. My darling Cecilia, if you're reading this, then I've died. Now, imagine your husband wrote you a letter to be opened after his death. Imagine, too, that the letter contains his deepest, darkest secret, something with the potential to destroy not only the life you've built together, but the lives of others as well. And then imagine that you stumble across that letter while your husband is still very much alive. Oh my goodness. So yeah, hooked. Definitely excited to get into some mystery. I think Vicious kind of just reopens that little bit of intrigue for me, because I get into spurts where I only want to read fantasy or I only want to read romance, and I want to do some more mystery, thriller, suspense. So I want to get back into that genre. Maybe this will open that up for me. Yeah, very excited to read this one. It's also giving the spring. Like, come on, look at this cover. I don't know if it'll focus, but yeah, we got cute little flowers. So we have a springtimey mystery. And last but not least is Someone Else's Shoes by Jojo Moyes. This is her newest release, and I love her. She's one of my favorite authors. She wrote Me Before You. She wrote The Giver of Stars. You're probably familiar with some of her writing. I have her books like right here. I have almost all of them. I love her. She can do no wrong in my eyes. I love all of the books that she's written. So I'm really excited to get my hands on this one. This is I don't think this is going to be a romance. I believe this is going to be lit fic. It centers around our main character, Nisha. I hope I pronounced that correctly. She has a very wealthy husband and a seemingly amazing life. When he files for divorce, he completely cuts her off, and she is kind of just scrambling to keep her life together. Everything that she knows, all of like her day-to-day activities are not going to be what they once were now that he's taken all of the money. She's trying to hang on to her glamorous life, and one day she leaves her gym bag unattended and it gets swapped for someone else's. And then we get introduced to a character named Sam, and Sam is going through her own issues, and she lives on the other side of the tracks, if you will. So like while Nisha is scrambling to, you know, keep up with her glamorous lifestyle, Sam is trying to keep her family afloat and like make ends meet. I think the two worlds are going to collide, and it's just going to be a really interesting, beautiful story, as all of Jojo Moyes' stories are. I have high hopes that it's going to be like a tearjerker, just really heartwarming book that will be, I don't know, I think that's going to be a great book to read in the springtime, and I'm excited to get my hands on it, like I said. So yeah, that's going to be it for me. Those are all the books that I have currently on my TBR to read this spring. If you have any more book recommendations, let me know in the comments if you have any, and if you've read any of the books I've mentioned here in this video, let me know what you think about them, because I'm so excited to get to reading. Oh my gosh, I have so many. All of these books just sound so good, and I can't get to them soon enough. So until next time, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.